The internet is full of cynics who will scream fraud, fake, scam, sleaze at anything that moves, right? They've seen so much shit and scam and sleaze out there that the moment you open your mouth, they come out and say scam, fraud, sleaze, right? And this session is all about how to take those cynics and convert them into rabid fans. My name is Bushra. I'm the founder of the Persuasion Revolution, and I teach tiny businesses how to make big bucks using the psychology of persuasion. If you're here live, please take a moment to let me know in the comments that you can see me and hear me okay, so I can continue on with giving you my 5 best tips on how to convert those cynics into rabid fans. Because guess what? A cynic is the most ideal person to be turned into a rabid fan. Because remember, a cynic is not a hater. A cynic is not a troll. A cynic is not just there because they like to set things on fire and then sit back and enjoy the torture. No, a cynic is someone who's seen so much shit, sleaze, and scam out there that they know the difference between fake and real. And when you share with them your real value, they will turn into rabid fans. And that is why I value cynics so much. And I see them as huge potential rabid fans. So let me know if you're here so that I can continue talking about this really favorite topic of mine. Hey, darling. Hey, everyone. Hi. I am a little bit not in my element today, so please excuse that I'm kind of trying to force the cheerfulness because we're all human beings. There are up days and there are down days. And today happens to be a little bit of a down day. But I'm trying to bring the energy back. So if you see that the energy lacking a bit, please excuse me and just assume that I'm human, even though I might not look like one. Okay, so if you're here and you are interested in this topic and you feel like this topic could be of value to someone who deals with a lot of cynics, please take a moment to share this broadcast, because I would love to talk about this topic in front of more people, because I think it's important for them to understand that cynics are not necessarily bad. Unfortunately, somehow, I don't know how that happened, but somehow most of the internet celebrities, they have really thin skin when it comes to dealing with cynicism. The moment you express an opinion that could be considered as questioning their authority, they go all berserk and they lose their mind and they would say, get the fuck out if you don't agree with me. And that is what I want to encourage you not to do. Because if someone is a cynic, if someone has an opinion that might seem like an attack on you, and you feel like it's done in a respectful manner, they're not being spammy, they're not being trolly, they're not being haters just for the sake of it, it makes sense to engage them in a debate. And I'm going to talk about that, because those people can and will then become your rabid fans. So maybe thicken up your skin a little bit and share this broadcast. We need to have more people who question things. We need to have more people who question the shit and the sleaze and the scam and the frauds that you see happen on the internet. And cynics are to be valued. We can't just tell them, oh, you know what, if you don't agree with me, if you don't like me, just get the fuck out. That's not how it should be. We should engage them in a debate. And I'm going to be talking about how you can do that. Okay, excellent. Hey, everyone. Hey, everyone. Thank you, darling. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay. So let's now talk about the very first thing that you can do. Now, actually, no, the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to read out some of the emails that I have received that they do not qualify as cynics. Instead, they qualify as haters or trolls. So there was this gentleman who I sent an email talking about intrigue, right? This email about how we should all have our tale of intrigues. And he sent a really pleasant one-liner in response that said, ha ha. And here I thought your tale of intrigue was your vulgarity. LOL. Keep doing your thing. Now, this does not deserve a response, because I don't even know how to start a response without sounding apologetic about who I am. right? This is not cynicism. This is a personal attack that is not constructive, that cannot lead to a discussion, right? There's another one from this lady who sent me an email after the Mother's Day in the US. And she said, I'm surprised you ignored Mother's Day. Also, from an American perspective, seeing a Saudi Arabia address in the email is frightening, commonly associated with spam and or terrorism, which is interesting because spam and terrorism, is it like, I don't even know how it matches up. From a sales perspective, rather than have to work doubly hard to earn credibility, you may consider getting a US PO box and or, I think she likes doing this and/or, using a more universal nickname for yourself like Bia, like B. Now, these are not cynics. These are people who have an opinion and they are going to express an opinion. And even if their opinion does not feed into anything constructive, they will just need to express it. Now, I would not necessarily classify them as haters. They're just people who like to express their opinions. And unless that opinion has the potential to lead into something constructive, I would not respond. I get a lot of these. There's another one which said, fuck you for adding me to your spam list without my permission and your non-functional and subscribe link. Remove you from your fucking list or I will reciprocate, which is interesting. How will you reciprocate? Will you add me to your spam list? As in, how does that even work? Okay, just, could you like tell me how will you reciprocate? I don't get it. But anyhow, there are these gems in my inbox that literally, they're not worth a discussion, right? I don't even know how to get started with engaging them, right? So I'm not talking about these people. I'm talking about people who will show up on your, who will respond on your ad, or who will show up on your live stream, or who will respond in a discussion that you've started, and they will question something that you stand for. Or these are people who don't talk. So they are silent, but they are silently judging you, right? How do you take them from that status of being a cynic to the status of being a Rabid fan? So number one, that is based on this theory of the mere exposure effect. This mere exposure effect is all about the idea that the more people see you, the more they like you, which sounds really weird, but that is so true. So I would encourage all of you to go start a Upoclips, right? There's the Apoclips and then there is the Upoclips. I just made up this term. I think it's genius. So start a Upoclips. That means that you should be everywhere. You should be running ads. You should be doing live streams. You should be doing Facebook posts. You should be sending emails, even when you're not selling anything. I think the biggest mistake that people make is they only show up in a newsfeed. They only show up in a Facebook group. They only show up in an inbox when they have something to sell. That means that they've not started a Upoclips. That means that people don't have the opportunity to see them everywhere. And therefore, they don't have the opportunity to like them, because we know that the more people see us, the more they like us. They may not consciously acknowledge it, but that's the reality. The more they see us, the more they like us. So your number one tip to make sure that those silent cynics who are just there silently judging you, but not really convinced about your value, show more of you to them. So Upoclips, start a Upoclips so they see you everywhere. See them, they need to see you even when you have nothing to sell, even when you have honestly nothing to ask for, but they need to see you. Now, it's not like they need to see you just for the sake of seeing you. Make sure that every time they see you, it has to be in a positive context. If they see you in a negative context, every time you show up, you have something negative, or your rant, or you have a fuck the world, that kind of a stance, then it creates a negative association. So make sure that your Upoclips is not like a zombie apocalypse. Instead, it's more like a cupcake apocalypse, where it's like cupcakes are raining from the sky and everything is all good and glittery and amazing and chocolatey, right? So make sure that it is always, or at least majority of the time, in a positive sense. So they know that they start beginning to associate you with something positive. So every time they see your post, there are certain people in my Facebook newsfeed, no naming, but every time I see a post from them, I don't even bother reading, because I know it's going to be a rant. I know it's going to be a rant. It's either going to be a rant on something political or something weird or something someone said to her or something about a nasty client. So my association, my brain has made an association with her that is negative. So even though I see her a lot, I always see her in a negative light. So make sure you don't do that. So that was tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to start and nurture a dumpster fire. And that's something I've talked about before as well, but I will talk more about this. So when you start a nurture fire, when you start and nurture a dumpster fire, it allows the cynics to come out from under the ground, right? They're silent, they're not talking, but they're just judging you, or they are private messaging their BFFs talking about what a weirdo you are. But when you start a dumpster fire, it's their opportunity to come out. Now, when I mean a dumpster fire, I mean start a discussion on something that people don't normally talk about. Stay away from religion and politics, please. That goes without saying. Not about religion or politics. Instead, it is about a topic that is hot in your industry, but most people don't talk about it, maybe because it is polarizing. So you start a discussion on that with the intention to get the cynics out of the woodworks. So start the dumpster fire and then nurture it. What does nurturing mean? Nurturing means that the moment some cynic steps up and says, you are wrong, I don't agree with you, that is your opportunity. That is a beautiful thing. Never, ever, and I don't understand so many well-established entrepreneurs, so many big names that so many people look up to. I see them and I see they have zero tolerance for criticism. Why the hell? If someone questions you, if someone comes out and says, you are wrong, I don't agree with you, that is your opportunity to establish why you believe in that thing, right? That is your opportunity to start a discussion, nurture their dumpster fire, because when you do, not only are you correcting the cynic, you're also correcting all the other silent supporters of the cynics who are not going to talk about it, who are just there with their popcorns waiting for something to happen. Get them out and start a discussion. I have seen a lot of, again, authority figures who, the moment someone questions something, the moment someone says something that is opposed to their ideals, they would either delete them, tell them to get the fuck out, or just pretend they don't exist. Why would you do that? That is your opportunity to establish why you believe in a certain thing. That's your opportunity to show off without sounding like a show off, right? That is your opportunity. So I remember once I started a dumpster fire all about, I'm just sick and tired of all of these webinars that have the same pitchy pitch and these fancy photos and nothing of value. And someone actually responded and she said, it seems like you have never run a profitable webinar, because whatever you're saying, the reason people do it is because it works. And I was like, oh my God, thank you for saying that, because now is my opportunity to come out and rub my numbers in your face without sounding like a show off, right? So if I had instead said something like, you know what, I don't do any of those webinars, but look at all this money that I'm making, I would have sounded like an arrogant asshole. But now she is the one who challenged me and said, you don't know how webinars work, because if you did, you would do it this way because this way works, right? Everyone does it because it works. You probably never made any money. And I was like, thank you for saying that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I then shared all my numbers, all my conversions, everything that I get from webinars without doing any of those things, right? So this is what I mean. That is why it is powerful. Instead of shutting them down and saying, you don't know, get out if you don't respect me, there's the door. I've seen people do that. Why would you do it? Nurture that dumpster fire. It is so, so, so powerful, because every time you do it, you're not just showing it to the cynic, you're showing it to everyone else who is watching. Tip number 3 is establish the benefits of being a Rabid fan. And 2 brands that I've seen who do it really well is Nicki Minaj, who said, okay, I will pay the fee, the college tuition fee for all of my fans who cannot afford and they have the grades, all of that scene that went down on Twitter. But at the core of it, what is that? You are showing all the cynics that you are here and my Rabid fans are here. And this is the benefit of being here. So you are here, you will always be a cynic. And unless you become a Rabid fan and you come here, you will never get the benefits that all of my Rabid fans get. Such a beautiful thing to watch. So everyone who's a cynic now, in their hearts, even if they do not consciously acknowledge it, they want to be here because they see the value and the benefit of being a Rabid fan. Now, the other than Nicki Minaj, the other brand who did it was Polyvore. So Polyvore took some of Polyvore is a company that allows you to mix and match different outfits. So you can actually do your look. I don't use it because have you seen me? but what Polyvore did was that they publicly chose some of their top fans and they got a few scholarship in art school. They got someone an internship in an art firm. So basically there are visible benefits. There are obvious public benefits of being a Rabid fan. So a cynic would die to be here because they see the value. I do it in Sold Out Launch all the time. I do it by doing something called the Sold Out Launch Hall of Fame, right? So if you are in Sold Out Launch, if you are the core in my inner circle and you're not a cynic, you're not just judging me sitting outside, look what I do to my people. I give them opportunities to be in front of my list. I give them opportunities to be in front of my group. And I give them opportunities to, I spend money on videos that lead to their Facebook pages, right? So that is your opportunity. If you want to be a cynic and remain a cynic, good on you, remain a cynic. But if you are to become a Rabid fan, if you are to come to this status, look all the perks and all the benefits of being a Rabid fan. Such a great way. And again, I'm a huge firm believer in the limelight grows when you share it. Unfortunately, most people don't even know about that. I don't know why you would do it, but make the benefit, the perks of being a Rabid fan, make them public. Make people know what you would do if they were a Rabid fan. When is the next Sold Out launch? The next Sold Out launch, Lisa, would most likely be next year. I'm looking at early next year. Okay, so the last point that I'm going to make is, okay, are you enjoying this so far? Does that make sense? Are these things that you can implement in your business? Or are these things that you're thinking like, oh, okay, it makes sense, but I could never do that. I can understand your hesitation when it comes to starting a dumpster fire because it sounds like, I'm not really sure, but give it a shot. It works, I promise. But tell me, give me your opinion. Tell me what you think about these points, these tactics, and how you can use them. Because I am telling you from personal experience that they work. The reason I'm blessed with such an encouraging and loving community is because I do these things every single day. They are a part of my business value proposition. This is what I do all day, every day. Loving it. Yes. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad that you guys agree. Last point, which again may seem like it is obvious, but it is not really obvious. So I would say this, embrace a cause. Now, there was this reason, there are multiple researchers, but I'm going to just quote two statistics. First statistics from Marketing Institute was that 81% of consumers, they said that they will make personal sacrifices if someone is addressing social environmental issues, right? So even if they don't personally agree with you, even if at a personal level, they don't think that you're on the right path for whatever reason, that they have a difference of opinion with you, if you embrace a cause, if you support a cause that they believe in, they will put their personal opinions on the back burner because they respect the fact that you support a cause. 88% of buyers claim to be more loyal to brands who support social causes. I have seen it in my business too. Now, giving or social causes or paying it forward is a core part of my brand. Now, I don't make it as the reason people should buy from me, but I do know that that is something that encourages people it attracts people to me. It allows people to feel less guilt to buy from me, even if they do not principally agree with me. So embracing a cause, whatever that cause is a social, environmental cause, anything that you believe in, it also allows those cynics to start looking at you as something that's not just a business, as something that's not just a money-hungry, a money-grubbing a leech who's out there to suck them dry, right? So that is why it is important to embrace a cause, and embrace a cause that is aligned with your vision, that's aligned with your values, and be vocal about it. You don't have to hide it behind, whatever your value system is. Be vocal about it, because it allows people who are either on the fence, they're neutral about you, to become Rabid fans, or people who are cynics to begin to see you in a new light. Now, I have seen it over and over again. I get emails, I get notices, I get inboxes from people saying, I cannot tell you how much this particular thing that you did impacted us. And again, I don't need to go into detail, but I know that is something that really allows you to, it has allowed me to connect with a lot of people that I would not have connected with if I had not seen them do a certain thing, do embrace a certain cause. So do that. It works to establish yourself as someone who's not just a money-hungry sleazeball, but also someone who believes in something. We all love human beings who believe in things that are bigger than themselves. We all want to be a part of something that's bigger than ourselves, right? We all want to be, we all want to belong to something that's bigger than just the business or the money. And when you give them this opportunity to be and belong to something, it is always more powerful. So there you have it, my tips on how you can take those cynics or those fence sitters or those silent judgy people and convert them into Rabid fans. You are a sensational coach. Thank you, Ibrahim. That means a lot. That means a lot. I'm sorry, people, I wasn't completely myself today, but I hope you enjoyed this session. I should also tell you a minor plug in here that my book, it's an international best-selling book in sales and selling and consumer behavior. It's called Mass Persuasion Method. It is available in paperback right now. You can go check it out. The book is only for $14, but you also get $800 worth of bonuses if you decide to invest in the book. So please go check it out. It is bit.ly/MPM book. Ooh, the breathing is being weird today as well. So Tara, if you could drop the link, that would be awesome. Please go check it out. It is my pride and joy, and I hope that you enjoyed the book. And once you have bought the book, please make sure to also come back and claim your bonuses, because we have $800 worth of bonuses for anyone who invests in the Mass Persuasion Method paperback. I'm sorry, I'm not in the best shape today, but I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really, really, really appreciate this. And I'm sorry if I was a drag today, but hopefully tomorrow is my birthday. I will be in a better shape tomorrow, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, same everything. Thank you so much, Tara, for this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey YouTube, if you enjoyed this session, please take a moment to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and also go check out my book. I sound a bit off, but I promise I will bring a lot of my 10x, my standard value tomorrow. So make sure you tune in tomorrow as well. I will see you soon.